Hi, I'm Rick Rheins, the senior rabbi at Temple Sinai in Denver, Colorado. This week's Torah portion is Shalach. It starts with the chapter 13 of the book of Numbers through the end of chapter 14. And it has this infamous scenario of Moses and the children of Israel in their second year. They're right on the border of the promised land. And Moses sends men representing each of the 12 tribes to scout out the land, scout out the land and see what it's like, to report back and to help the people understand what the land is going to be like. Now, it's again, an infinite story, because they come back and they say, look, it's a land flowing with milk and honey, and look at the cluster of grapes that we have, and look how wonderful this land is. But then they say, 10 of the 12 say, Ephes, it's worthless, because we're not strong enough to conquer this land. In fact, the residents there are going to overwhelm us. We're like grasshoppers to them. So it's a terrible story. And then Joshua and Caleb, the two scouts who said, no, we can do it, we can do it, they were shouted down. And it's a story that ultimately led to the children of Israel not coming to the promised land after 2 years in the wilderness, but rather they had to wander for 38 more years, 40 years in total in the wilderness, until all of that generation and the generation after perished in the wilderness, until a new generation could come in, a new generation with confidence. So you know that story. It's so well known, infamous, because again, it talks about the sense of being overwhelmed by uncertainty, of fear, of being hesitant to go forward with a dream that you have. So in this passage, in chapter 13, verse 16, we have a very interesting piece. Now, we know the man who helped Moses is as Joshua, but in chapter 13, verse 16, it says that Moses renames Hosea Yehoshua, i.e. Hosea becomes Joshua. And what Moses did was added a yud to Hosea's name to make him Yehoshua. And Rashi, the 11th century French commentator, made reference to the Talmudic tractate in Sota, said that the yud represents a couple of things. One, the yud represents a contraction. Yud He, which is the first two letters of Yehoshua, represents Yah, or God, and Hosea means save, i.e. God will save you. It's Moses' way of praying for Joshua. But the Yud also can stand for, and Rashi makes some reference to it, and so does the Talmudic tractate, saying that the Yud stands also for 10, because Yud is the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And that represents, may God save you from the 10, i.e. the 10 who are the naysayers, the 10 who said, yes, it's a wonderful land, but Ephes. It's worthless because we'll never get it. We're not good enough. We're not strong enough. We don't believe in it. We don't believe in us. And Joshua then carried this yud, one that says God will save you, and the other is the yud for the 10. So which one takes precedent? Is it the yud that says God is with you, God is with us? Or is the yud that says there are 10 people out there, or naysayers, cynics, who are always doubting you, doubting us? Well, maybe it's both. Maybe it's the fact that we have to choose all the time. We have to look for the yud. We have to look for that little piece that can inspire us and not be frightened away from the potential. I say that lesson is so germane for us because we look around the world and all too often we find reasons to back away from our dreams. So at the end of this week's Torah portion, we will find the passage that says, look on your tzitzit. And it says, look at the tzitzit and look for the patil techelet, look for the blue. And it says, look at them, uritam uzachartam va'asitim et kol mitzvot Adonai. Now, not every tzitzit has a blue patil, a blue thread, but mine does, and I hope you can see it. It's blue. And that's why the Israeli flag is blue and white. And you can look at it and be reminded. But look, in the tzitzit itself, it's sort of very inconsequential. It's mostly a white tzitzit and just one little blue thread. It's the same idea, looking for the yud. God is present in our lives, not always in those big, evident signs, but sometimes in the small things that we have in our heart, that small whisper in our ear that says, you can do it. Believe in yourself. Look for them. Look for the signs of hope. Look for the patil techelet, that blue stripe in the field that could be lost, but look for that which will bring us forward to the promised land. There will always be the cynics. There will be always the doubters. There'll be those who say, maybe I'm not good enough. And perhaps the person who's saying that is you or me, the person inside that says, I don't know, maybe there's too much failure. Okay, well, look also inside and find that little thread of hope. Find that yud that inspires. And may this Shabbat teach us all that we are here in this world blessed with so much potential, blessing each other. Let us find the inspiration to go forward with pride, with hope, with love. Shabbat Shalom.